Just checking out these filters. They've updated the live. All the things that you can do um, with the live stream since the last time I've been up here. I know y'all probably working hard for the money, honey bunny. So somebody pops in here, that's cool. If nobody pops in here, I'll see y'all in the comments on the playback. It's all well and good. I'm just playing around with filters. Get comfortable up in here. No, we don't want we don't want bubbles. That's too much. No. Ooh. Okay. I think I like pop. Okay. Hey to whoever's in here. Well, I guess, I don't know. I guess the filter bar is going to stay down there. I don't know. So I'm just going to... I did put the live chat so that, I mean, it should pop up. But whatever. What new pin chat? Okay. Yes. So, I know it has been a while since I've posted. And like I said in my community posts, I just really haven't had a topic that I just, really wanted to discuss, just, really felt passionate about discussing. And so, I like to post naturally, organically. Like, I don't like posting on a schedule, obviously. I don't like posting on a schedule. I like to post when I feel called and moved to post. So that's what I do. But yeah. So I was meditating this morning because I made a commitment to meditate consistently. And shout out to the Water Alchemist, because I mean, for years I have had this goal of being more consistent with meditating and a few spiritual practices, and I have gotten better with some things, but meditation has been one that I've struggled with being consistent with. And so, hey, I just wanted to, I was thinking one morning, not too long ago, about a week ago, that, it's high time that I be more consistent with meditating and other practices and things of that nature, instead of, waiting for something to go left to make things right. And all of that. And then the Water Alchemist posted a video. I can't even remember the title, but it wasn't that long ago. Like I said, it was about a week ago, not even a week ago. And just about being, incorporating your magic into your lifestyle. Incorporating your magic into your life. And I've mentioned this before, as far as how I do like to blend the magical with the mundane. But I wanted some rituals that I do regularly, you know, um, and not so spontaneously, just more, I guess, for lack of a better word, just like a more standardized type of rituals that I'm gonna do every week or every month, you know, things of that nature. And so I had already been thinking that. And then he posted that video. I'm like, well, that's my confirmation right there to stop procrastinating and hop to it. And so meditation is one of those things that I have been doing consistently. I got this little habit app that I really like. And you can even, you know, you can set how often you want to meditate, what time you want to be reminded to meditate, and you can even set music to it so you can meditate to the music. So I've been doing that, and I've been consistent with that for the past week. And so I'm really proud of myself for that. And so I was meditating this morning, and I just thought, you know what, it's been a while, and I really do want to check in with y'all and see how y'all doing and all of that. And why wait for a topic, just say hey, you know, and all of that. But then a topic came through that I am passionate about, so I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But one, I want to talk about one of the rituals that I have been doing kind of consistently. I just came across this ritual, honestly, maybe 2 or 3 months ago. So I haven't had that much, and it's only a monthly ritual, so I haven't had that much time to be consistent, but I've been consistent just the same. And that's on the first of the month, going outside of your door and blowing cinnamon inside of your house. So I blow powdered cinnamon inside of the house on the first of the month. Now I haven't done it yet, but I will be doing it after I get off of here, while the sun is still rising, because that's going to add to the energy. You know, you want your money to increase. If you're trying to increase anything, you're trying to bring something in, working with the rising sun is what you would do. Instead of waiting for the moon and all of that, you can always work with the sun like you can work with the clock. And so the rising sun, the times that the sun is rising, that's like the equivalent of a waxing moon. High noon, which, you know, isn't noon, it changes every day, but that would be basically the sun's the equivalent of the full moon. And then as the sun is setting, that's the equivalent of a waning moon. And then, well, I mean, you could just use night or the sunset itself as the equivalent of a new moon. So I will be doing that ritual since it is August 1st. And you basically, you know, setting your intentions and putting your energy into the cinnamon of what it is that you want to bring in to your home. Okay, you can put it in your, you know, your receiving hand, because you want to receive, and blow the cinnamon. Step outside your door. You want to make sure you're outside of your house, because you want it to come from outside and in, and blowing the cinnamon into your home. And honestly, I actually got that ritual from T.S. Madison, of all places. And then I was watching a video not too long ago, and Shanetta's Divine Tarot mentioned the same thing, you know. So that's something I've been doing, and I'm going to do that today. I've been participating in Shanetta's her community rituals here lately, because that's something new. You know, being a solitary witch, I enjoy being a solitary witch. You know, never say never, but I don't see myself joining a coven or anything like that, you know. My spirituality has always been a very personal thing for me, so I you know, I've just never been the coven type. And also, I kind of, you know, turn my nose up at community rituals and things. And I'm just a lone wolf, being a lone wolf, and rather doing things, you know, on my own. But in the spirit of doing things new, because if you want new things, you have to do new things. You know, you have to get on a different frequency. So I said, you know, I mean, let me try it out. And I did the money ritual before last. I guess it was just called a money ritual. The last ritual that she's done that I'm participating in as well. Hey, y'all. Hey. Okay, I was wondering that everything has changed on the live now. And I was wondering where the comment's gonna pop up or what's gonna happen. So hey, Mapina, how you doing? So yeah, I participated in her last money ritual. I did get some results. I got me a new client, and I mean, like, it really worked how I wanted it to work. I didn't get fireworks. I'm gonna be honest with you, and I mean, things take time. It was just last month, I think I did that ritual, that community ritual, or a month before last. Shanetta's Divine Tarot money ritual, but I did get a new hair client. It was exactly what I wanted because I prefer to do natural hair, and I've really been missing doing crochets. I've just been making wigs and stuff for the past few years, so I've really been missing doing the crochets. Excuse me. And so I'm still in Mary Kay, by the way, and she's a new Mary Kay sister. And you know, my director, we have a group chat or what have you, and so, well, group text chat or whatever. And so she introduced her to us, and the new Mary Kay sister, and she introduced herself, and I introduced myself and how, you know, I do hair and psychic readings and other things. And she ended up reaching out to me individually to do her hair, so I did that. So, you know, I like that. That's one thing that manifested from that ritual. And then I got some more business. I got a few little side hustles. So I did get some business with my father-in-law because he has a construction company, and I do invoices and things for him from time to time. And so it had been a while since I had done any work for him, and he ended up reaching out. So yeah, and then I got some bites from some people I grew up with, wanting some readings. They didn't actually follow through and schedule the reading, but still, you know, it's still movement. And then things have been looking up for my husband as well. So, you know, you have to look at that too. And I'm trying to think, did I do that ritual before my son started picking up some extra work? Yes, I have a son. I have a son that's working now, and he really likes it. He's not driving. You know, these newfangled children ain't too pressed about having a car. I'm not too pressed either, to be perfectly honest with you. Children becoming adults is a very stressful thing to bear witness to, because you know they have to do it, and you know you can only hope that you have, you know, trained them up in the way that they should go, but that doesn't stop you from being worried about them and scared. And I mean, people drive crazy, and the world is crazy, so it's like, I'm not too pressed about it either. So I am quite comfortable with taking him to work. But he came to the car yesterday whistling. I'm like, you had a good day at work? He's like, yeah, he really likes this job. He really likes the people and everything. He's working on a farm. So that's Nice. I really like that, because, you know, again, this new generation, you know how we played outside all the time. Okay, you couldn't come back in the house, even if you wanted even if you wanted to. It was a trap. You better sneak in, because if you get caught, sit down. That's it. That is it. Your playtime is over. Okay, and since you so thirsty, sat down. So yeah, it's nice that he is able to get out in nature, and not only that, he's working with nature. I made me a good old omelet this morning with some tomatoes that he brought home from work. We get to get some fresh produce and stuff, which I really like. And he brought a basil plant home a while back, and now he has 3 big ones. I mean, they're not as big as basil can get. I did not know basil could get so big. And the plant he put in the ground outside, it didn't survive, but they're still big in the pots, you know. Just maybe we can get some, if I think about it and if he thinks about it tomorrow, we can get some bigger flower pots so they can just get stronger, and then hopefully they'll survive, you know, the transplant in the ground. But I had a nice old omelet with the fresh tomatoes he brought and the fresh basil. And I gotta tell you, an omelet with basil, I usually just make my omelets with parsley. That shit was hitting. Like, that's my new favorite herb to put in an omelet. So yeah, that was nice. And then the other day I roasted, because he had brought home a bunch of tomatoes, so I roasted some tomatoes and basil. I just put a little oil, a little salt, and roasted them, and put it in some bow tie pasta with it was some sweet Italian chicken sausage with kale, and that came out really good. So yeah, lots been going on, a lot of good, a little bit bad too, you know. I haven't heard from my cousin in a long time. Unfortunately, she went back to an abusive boyfriend, and last I heard from her, you know, like, he didn't put her in a wheelchair, and I can't get in touch with her. And I've been reaching out to her daughter. They not the closest. And I've been reaching out to her daughter, and, you know, she'll say, I'm going to, you know, get back with you. And she said she's going to put her in an assisted living facility and all of that, because she does have mental health issues. But I haven't heard from the daughter either. And nobody in the family has been able to, you know, get any updates or anything. So that's something, you know, that I think about from time to time. And that's what inspired me, that, you know, to talk about this topic of using your energy and using your magic wisely, because I'm sure, you know, some of y'all can relate of having family members in fucked up situations, and it's like, well, should you magically get involved? Should you, you know, work on their behalf? Now, me personally, and you might think this is cold, me personally, I do my general protections on, you know, just the family, and bless, you know, not only my immediate family, but, you know, just bless us and protect us and all of that jazz. But when it comes to getting involved on an individual level, I have to look at the situation individually. And when you're dealing with someone who you want better for them more than they want better for themselves, it's a waste of energy. As cold-hearted as that might sound, as harsh as that might say, that's just the reality. You're throwing your energy and your magic down a black hole, and you've got better things that you could be using your energy and your magic for. You know, all you can do is hope that they come around and, you know, put in the work that they need to put in. But I mean, it's called self-love for a reason. You can't make somebody love themselves. You can't make someone see their value. You can't, you know, there's the old saying goes, you know, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. So, you know, I've been there for her over the years. I was so proud of her when she finally left him and got up out of that situation and moved closer to, you know, the rest of the family. And, you know, I did all I could to encourage her to, you know, do for herself, but I'm not in the business of saving people. Not like that. Because you have to do the work for yourself. You can't make excuses, you know. As Jamie Foxx said, nephew, we all got pain. You know, we all do. And so you have to find it within yourself to do what you know is best for you. And, you know, I never liked the fact, and told her as much, that you keep in touch with this abusive man. You don't owe him anything. Who cares how much history y'all have? It's a toxic, bad, abusive history. Who cares? Block his number. It's over. You're gone. You've gotten out of there. Who cares about him and what he wants? Why are you still talking to him? And so he finally wore down. And she went back to him. And that's been the end of that. I've talked to her a handful of times, and you know, I haven't heard any good news yet from her or from anybody else. And so, you know, all I can do is what I've been doing, and that's that general protection and blessings that I, you know, do for the whole family. And so if you can relate, and if you've been wondering, should you get involved in a situation, this just may very well be your confirmation that, okay, is it worth it? You know? And then even when she left, just the weight that I felt lift from my shoulders showed me I was way too invested in the first damn place. You know what I'm saying? And you don't realize just how much energy you're taking on of other people's sometime until they get away from a situation. But, you know, you can't just wait all of the time for somebody to do better. Sometimes you have to remove them. And I had been, you know, getting readings and, you know, channeled messages and things about a person in my life that needs to be removed, and I didn't want to believe it was her. And so I set up boundaries, you know what I'm saying, to protect myself, but it wasn't enough. You know, she had to be completely removed. And so spirit, the universe, ancestors, all that jazz, kindly removed her, and in grand fashion. And it's sad, but it is what it is at the same time. And so you have to use your magic wisely and use your energy wisely, because in situations like that, you know, as the saying goes, it's like you're throwing good money after bad. You're throwing your energy, you're throwing your magic, you're throwing your rituals, you're throwing your supplies down a black hole, you know. And people have to come around on their own, and especially considering the fact she's old enough to be my mother, so it's not like she doesn't know better. You know what I'm saying? It's not like she doesn't know better. And I've tried to encourage her and show her, like, I mean, you have overcome a lot of things that have a whole bunch of people in the ground, like overcoming addictions and overcoming a lot of things. And it's not that you don't have the strength in you to overcome this and do better for yourself. You know, it's just something that she's going to have to want for herself. And so, yeah, it's sad. But on a more positive note, you know, I'm being more consistent with my spirituality and things, and really putting in more effort for healing myself and my family, you know, my children, husband, and all of that, because that's going to be more beneficial for me, a more beneficial way to use my energy and my magic. But now I've also got some other news. I think I'm just gonna wait until it's like obvious. I've just really been wanting to sit on this, and I haven't really wanted to make an announcement just yet. But if you're psychic, You might can guess. But yeah, positive things have been happening in my life. Um, like I've been making transformations because I had been noticing there were negative changes in my health. And part of it was age, you know. I am in my mid 30s and shit start breaking down. Stuff start breaking down. But I'd also been a smoker for years and I finally quit. Yeah, I quit. I think it's been a year or more now. But unfortunately, I didn't quit before it taken its toll. And so I've been incorporating, more fresh foods in my diet. I've started oil pulling. I just started oil pulling this week and I can definitely see some positive changes already. So I'm being consistent with that. And time is going to have to work its magic, basically. Consistency and time. But that's a positive thing that's been happening in my life. And yeah, so I'm gonna do that new month ritual with the cinnamon. I am participating in Shanetta's Pay Me community ritual, so I'm excited to see what manifests from that. I also participated in her Archangel Raphael healing ritual. And so, I mean, obviously that's working. It's working in the way where it's motivated me and also stimulated my memory, because it's not like I don't know what to do. It's just you forget all of the good information. And when you research as much as I do, I mean, it's, and then life is happening. It's always something going on. It's not hard to forget information, especially if you haven't, started incorporating it into your life and been consistent enough with it for you to remember, hey, this is something that works. Like, I haven't oil pulled in probably over 10 years. Yeah, so I did that ritual, the healing ritual, and I've been oil pulling and doing different things, and so I'm definitely seeing the positive changes in that. And then another positive thing is not, money per se, but I mean, it's still a form of prosperity. So you can't just look at prosperity rituals as only bringing in money, only bringing in, opportunities or gifts or just things of that nature. Prosperity also comes in the form of people. So one thing that's happened that I've been, trying to be more open to is friendships. And so, because I'm picky, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. When you reach a certain level of awareness as an occultist, you don't have patience. I mean, the older I've gotten, I have, and reading the 48 Laws of Power definitely helped. But and the older I've gotten, I've learned to, okay, when in Rome type of thing. But it's gonna be when in Rome, we're gonna visit Rome in small doses, and I don't like getting too close because it I've fallen down a deep rabbit hole, and if you if you don't even know that the rabbit hole exists, like, how deep should I get involved? And so my husband's cousin actually reached out to me, and every now and again she reaches out and says hey, because we have children around the same age, and she forgot that I have, we're in the same city now. So she reached out not too long ago, and we're going to get together this weekend so the kids can get together and play and all of that. But she reached out, and it turns out that she's conscious as well. Now, how deep? I don't know. I know, as far as like she's into the indigenous stuff, changing your status and, that sort of thing. She says she's been on her journey for a couple years now. Meanwhile, I've been on mine for over 10 years. Now, granted, I'm not into the indigenous status and all the more legal aspects of, being aware. Cause the word woke has been hijacked. So I'm gonna just say aware or awake. But I've been aware of it, but I didn't get deep into it. But it's definitely something that I've wanted to. So it's nice that she's, into it and can teach me a few things, because like she's really wanted to start a community and like a tribe and all of that. And so, I'm definitely interested in learning more. Like she wants a farm and just all sorts of things. Like, okay, she on the level well enough that I feel comfortable, being vulnerable and giving her a shot, which is something I have been working on, just being more vulnerable. Because I'm sure y'all can definitely relate. Once your eyes open to certain stuff, it's like you take a step back from people, because it's when you see that they can't see. And if you honest with yourself, you really think back, you've always been aware. You don't just get to this point overnight or in the past few years. Even as a child, you saw things a little bit differently. You noticed that things weren't quite right, and it just built over time. And so it's not hard to become guarded when you start really becoming aware of things. And then when you take the plunge to do things differently, like practice witchcraft and all of this things like that, especially when you grew up Christian and all of that, not only do you want to remove yourself, but in a way you get shunned too, and the whispers and all of that. It's like, okay, who cares? But you distance yourself. And so that's something I have been working on, is for the past few years, and just being more vulnerable, period, with myself. And now I have reached a level where I'm ready to be more open with people, and getting out of the perspective that everybody is just dead, because that's simply not true. A whole bunch of people are. But there are people like us actually in our communities. We just haven't come across them, because I think too sometimes we can feel like, okay, our community is just online and everybody's just scattered all around the world. And it's nice to have these spaces, these online spaces and these online communities, but it's not the same, is it? Of having somebody that is a few miles away, or the next city over, or what have you, or even just in the same damn state that you can talk to, and that's going to get it. And so I've been changing my perspective on that, and working on not being so cynical. So yeah, and here we go. She done reached out and all of that, because she remembered me years ago going outside at a sleepover, because my husband's family, they do things like old school, like, which is something that I love, and on both sides, on his mama's side and his daddy's side. Both sides that his family are large, and then they still do things old school. Now, granted, the whole pandemic switched things up because they used to have a yearly sleepover where everybody sleeps over. It's not just the kids. Not us just dropping the kids off. No, everybody comes and sleeps over, and is we drink, we smoke, chill, play cards, go to the club if you want to in the middle of the night. You don't have to worry about nothing. Your kids here with nothing but family. Everything's cool, you know. And so things changed, with the social distancing and everything. But hopefully, things will be coming back. But she remembered years ago at a sleepover, me going outside to pick dandelions to eat for breakfast, because it was at the time where I was attempting to be vegetarian. Every now and again I attempt to be a vegetarian, but I just can't do it for too long, so at this point there will just be times where it's like, I just had a vegetarian day today, you know or a few days, but I have to eat some type of meat or I don't feel right, and I've even started eating beef and pork a little bit more, cause that Sweet Baby Ray's beef jerky is delicious, and I have been tired of denying myself that. And everybody doesn't do a chicken Philly steak right, and it's not quite the same, is it? Zero's makes a good one, but that's about it that I've come across anyway. And so I have missed, those Philly cheesesteaks and things. So I have been allowing myself to eat beef and pork every now and again. But I'll say the past couple years. And before that, it had been years since I had it. And I'd been missing it, but I don't eat it regularly like I used to, The spaghetti is still made with ground turkey, and it's mainly poultry and fish that gets cooked in this house. But I have allowed myself to partake in a slice of pepperoni pizza every now and again. And I don't beat myself up about it either. Because, when I stopped eating beef and pork, because I did it for health reasons, if I partook, I really felt bad about myself. Like, what are you doing? What the hell are you doing? And now, no, I don't feel bad about it, because it's in moderation. Everything in moderation. So, yeah. I'm excited to get up with her this weekend with the kids and build and talk and learn some things, and see just how deep down the rabbit hole is she, because I definitely know that she was raised Christian. I don't know too many black folks not, especially in the South. So we'll see. Oh, and another thing I wanted to mention too, the new client that I got, that's also Mary Kay's sister. She's on the level, like she's got her crystals, and she said manifestation. Now a lot of Christians be talking about manifestation these days, but when you combine the crystals and the manifestation, that makes me feel like you're a little far down the road. It's not just a buzzword for you. It's not just, oh, well, this is the new thing, this is the trend, and everybody is manifesting and yada yada yada, and intention and blah blah blah. But she saw my crystals and my Himalayan salt lamp and all types, and I have my shit hanging on the wall. Okay, it's no secret. My Black Hat Society sign is hanging on the wall in the living room. My home of one spooky witch one handsome devil and all their goblins or all their ghouls or whatever, that sign is on the door. Okay, so it's no secret. Okay, if you have eyes to see, it's no secret. And definitely if you walk up in the kitchen. Because I was keeping my little niece, my husband's niece actually, was down from Maryland visiting, and she saw all of my little oils on my altar. It's like, what are those? Why do you have all of those oils? And I'm like, well, they're my magical oils. I'm like, oh, you're a witch? I'm like, yeah. You know, it's no secret. I don't care. This is my house. And if it makes you too uncomfortable, you know how to get in your damn car and leave. It's real simple. Like, I'm going to take my shit down? No. You going to take your cross down? And your picture of Martin Luther King Jr. sitting beside the picture of Jesus? No, you're not. So I ain't taking that down. I ain't hiding nothing. I don't do that. You know, because it's so funny. Everybody, you know, it's the devil until it is useful to them. I mean, how many of y'all have come across, you know, good old Bible thumping Christians that you know are secretly condemning you, or maybe outright condemning you, but if they got an issue, they want to know about a spell about it. Child, talk to God. You know what I'm saying? Or I love one where it's like, well, I don't believe in witchcraft. They say in one breath, and then in the very next breath, you're not gonna curse me, are you? Wait a minute, hold up. If you don't believe in it, what you worried about it for? Like, no, I'm not that type of person. If you don't believe, I'm just gonna automatically curse. Well, I don't care. It's you have free will. You know? And to me, that works in my favor. Should you cross me and I decide to cross you back, how are you gonna stop me? You don't believe that what's happening to you is a supernatural or magical thing. So you're gonna look for a whole bunch of mundane solutions that ain't gonna work. You know what I'm saying? That don't hurt my feelings at all, but I always find that funny. It's like, I don't believe in that stuff. You're not gonna curse me, are you? Yes. No. Yeah. Hey, Rebecca Towns. So yeah, I always think that's hilarious. But yeah, that is what I have been up to. You know, living life. I need to get back on my Mary Kay journey. I won't say my Mary Kay journey because I never left. It's just, you know, if you've ever owned a business or tried to own a business, you know, it requires a different level of discipline and determination. Boy at Bath Bubbles today. Okay. I'm not sure what that means. My take, baby boy at Bath Bubbles today. But yeah, sounds fun. Who doesn't like bubbles? I just bought my son some bubbles the other day. Yeah, so if you know, you know, it takes a different level of determination. And I've just been doing other things and worried about other things. Like I said, my health. And reversing all of the damage I've done from being a smoker for years. You know, and so I need to hop back on it. And I did start by posting on Instagram. So I just need to be more consistent. I did send my director my goals last night because they just did seminar, which is a huge thing. I really wanted to go, but I'm like, you know, if you're familiar with Mary Kay does have a reputation of being a pyramid scheme. It's not, because you don't have to sign up anyone if you don't want to. And at the end of the day, your bread and butter will come from you selling. You know what I'm saying? But the longer you stay in and you do see that some people are doing things that is just not good business, and that's on them. I call it Mary Kay math. I do real math. And so for me, I wasn't about to dip in my personal finances and spend money on a plane ticket, money on a hotel, money on evening gowns, and all of the things and outfits, because you know, when you show up every year, they have like a little theme, and they want the different units and regions to match, so we know who's who, by not only region but also by, you know, your status in Mary Kay. And then the seminar itself costs money, and I wasn't about to do any of that if I couldn't do it from the profits from my Mary Kay business. And I just haven't gotten there yet. And I mean, it's okay, because businesses take time to build. I mean, it's a rare thing for you to turn a profit in your first year, even in your first 5 years. Businesses take time to build. That's why they're called babies. You know what I'm saying? For a reason. They really do take time to develop. It takes time to build a customer base. It just takes time. And so when you do real math, like I do real math, you move a little different. And for me, you know, if you've, like I said, if you ever heard of Mary Kay, if you ever come across this forum called Pink Truth, and you just go through and read the horror stories, all you reading about is people who have no backbones and weak minds, and allow themselves to be pressured, and allow themselves to be turnips bled for blood. And we know turnips don't have blood. So what are you doing? And like, I no, hell no, you're not gonna spend my money for me. That's one thing you're not gonna do. And I will not be pressured. I will do things on my own timeline, and I'm gonna take your good advice. But I know how to count, and I know I know when things aren't adding up. And so I haven't had the negative experiences like some people had. And I will say too, it's because I have a director who's real and genuine as well, and her main thing is like, nah, you need to hustle and make your money. No, don't nobody want you going into debt and taking out credit cards and doing all this foolish mess. You need to get out there and pump, hit the pavement. And so I appreciate that, and so I'm grateful that I do have a unit, and that I'm with a unit of ladies and gents who do have integrity, because obviously that's not true for a lot of people. And it sucks for you if you have come across those types of individuals, but you also should have enough sense of your own to not allow your arm to be twisted and to do something you know you can't afford to do. So, you know, there is that, you know. So I did want to go this year because I figured it was going to be fantastic, because it was the 60th anniversary, and I figured, you know, they were going to make a big to-do about it. And they did give out, they're launching a new, they're revamping the Time-Wise 3D line, which is what I use and really like. And they ended up giving away the new line if you went to seminar. But it is what it is. Like I said, Danielle was not going to dip into her personal finances. No. Hell no. With all these children, as high as food, no, I got other things to spend my money on. I would have loved to have been there And, you know, we'll aim for next year. You know what I'm saying? But no, excuse me. We're gonna work our rituals, we're gonna work our business, and we're gonna see what happens. Because if even still, I can't make some enough to go off of Mary Kay money, then I won't be going next year either. And it's simple as pie. But I'm going to, excuse me, do what I need to do and stay positive and all of that. And hopefully I'll be there next year. You know what I'm saying? Because I do have a plan. I got the idea that why don't I just reach out to these influencers? Everybody else reaching out to them. Why don't I just do that and see where it takes me? Because my main goal is just to be consistent, to make consistent sales, like any business. That's the main that's the one of the first goals and the main goal. I want to build a solid customer base and get consistent profits and take it from there, you know. And that takes time, because I mean, you have to invest in a business. And you know, when you're dealing with physical product, you got to have product. You have to, it's different, you know. Like with my spiritual business or with my readings, I'm pretty much done. You know, sure, I'll buy a new deck here and there, but I don't have to. The investment has been made. All I have to do is do the readings. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to buy anything to do the readings. You know what I'm saying? As long as I got internet, I'm good. And if I were to start, because this is something I haven't done, and it's something I've considered doing, if I were to go out here and pass out business cards for my readings, like I go out here and pass out business cards for Mary Kay, I wouldn't even need internet too tough. Or, you know, all I need is a phone. Or you could come to the house and get a reading. You know what I'm saying? I come to your house and get a reading. You know what I'm saying? So it's different. It is harder to keep your profit when you have physical product that you have to use your profit and invest back in your business into. And so, you know, obviously that once I get consistent profit, my goal is to, okay, keep the profit going by having what I need. And so it still would take time for me to save up enough money to go to seminar. So yeah, it's definitely a goal, because it definitely sounds like fun, you know. And you need to get out of the house and away from your husband for a few days or a week, so Bedlam can erupt and they can appreciate you. But no, Bedlam wouldn't erupt, but yes, it's gonna be different when Mama ain't home. Okay, it's always different when Mama ain't home. But yeah, just definitely would be something nice to get away and do for myself, and have a little nice vacation, and to meet, you know, my fellow sisters in person, because I've met some of them, but I haven't met a lot of them because we're in different states, and you know, we only see each other on Zoom most of the time. So yeah, that is what I've been up to, y'all. And I think I'm going to get off of this live and make me a smoothie and a bowl of yogurt and granola. I might make another omelet, to be perfectly. I'm telling you, y'all, if you haven't had an omelet with fresh basil. Try it. Oh, it was so good. I did some Vidalia onions, cherry tomatoes, basil cheese, and some honey smoked turkey. Baby, delicious. Delicioso. So yeah, I might make another one. Because I do have a sweet tooth, but I don't think I got that much of a sweet tooth right now for yogurt and a smoothie, but I do want a smoothie. So yeah, before I get to growling up here, before the stomach starts talking to y'all, I'm going to hop off of this live. But I thank y'all so much for tuning in and commenting. I appreciate y'all so much for rocking with me. And thank you to my new subscribers, because we done finally broke past the 60s a mark, because it was floating at what, like 1660 something for the longest, and it was plucking my nerve. But we done finally broke past that. And I've been watching what I say a little bit more, because it's come to my attention that my son's friends are watching my videos and are subscribed. Now, I got it up here that it ain't made for kids, and it will never be. Okay, because I'm not a child. I'm talking to grown folks always, but at the same time, I do want to, you know, be more mindful. Since, I mean, that's a little close to home. Okay, I'm just waiting for that odd day, because it's gonna be odd, it's gonna be weird, it's gonna be exciting, but it's still gonna be odd at the same time when somebody recognizes me, you know, from here. I hope you catch me on a good day, you know, because I do be mean mugging. I do have resting bitch face. Okay, and that won't change. But yeah, I am nicer than I look sometimes. If you're on my good side, yes. You piss me off, I might follow you home. No, it's only if it's a road rage situation. I'm working on it. Okay, I've stopped. I did a spell for that. So I have a little jar. I have a little sweet jar. So I will be more sweet on the road. It's just water and sugar and lavender. So I will be more peaceful and more sweet and considerate and courteous. And it's definitely working. You know, I haven't followed anybody home in months. So it's working. It's working. You know, and now I'm at the point where I'm seeing people do the stupid, crazy shit that I used to do. It's like, oh my God, that was me. You sweet, simple fool. Look at you up there, swerving and doing all type of crazy shit. That was you. But I'm better now. Okay. Yeah. Listen, I'm sure you can relate. We all be going through it sometime. And I got a ticket. I've got, I don't know how many tickets I've got. At first I got a warning. And then I got another ticket. So I'm sure that's not a warning. My husband's like, you got another ticket and you had to slow down. Because you know I'm not paying the tickets. At the end of the year, I got a few side hustles and all of that jazz. And I contribute. But he pays all the bills. And he shall continue to do so. You know, I know that upsets some men, these newfangled men talking about what do you bring to the table, child? If you don't know what a woman brings to the table, then may I suggest that you volunteer your body to the nearest Elmer's glue factory. Don't take yourself out to pasture. Because if you don't know, Who raised you? Like, you really don't know? You really don't know? Where your daddy at? What he bring to the do you know him? I tell these incels and MGTOWs have lost their damn mind. And then they wonder why nobody want them. Nobody of value anyway. Oh, you can get a woman, but she gonna be more trouble than she worth. You ain't gonna find nobody like you know what I'm saying? My child. So yes, I mean, it's always fascinating to me when, you know, men, because you're not a man if you have to ask that question. You should already know what a woman brings. If you don't know how to pick them, that's on you. Ain't that what they tell her? So yeah, if you don't know, I don't know what to tell you, except that the Elmer's Glue Factory stay hiring. Well, it's not hiring per se, but they're always in need. You know, and you know, it can't always be horses all the time. So yeah. Yeah, he is the breadwinner. Okay, I work because I want to. I like having my own money, you know. But no, ain't gonna be no 50-50. Okay, ain't no 50-50 on the cooking and the cleaning and the rearing of the children and getting up in the middle of the night and all the things and going to the doctor and the PTCs. There's no 50-50 there, so there ain't gonna be no 50-50 on the bills. Anybody that can't understand that, well, the mind is a terrible thing to waste. Write a letter to Jesse. Ask him to help you best he can, if he's still with us, because he's been disappearing for a while. I need Jesse to gain some weight back and bring his curl back, the old 70s curl. when he was hefty and ate well. But yeah, I am going to hop off and make me some more food, and I'm going to rewatch the Shanetta's Divine Tarot reading that I had started watching, but I wanted to come up here on time. I told y'all 9 o'clock, and so I was up here, what, like 9:02, 9:04, something like that. So yeah, her August prediction. I won't say I'm glad she's back, because it's not like she left. It's more so like I left. And I really just been watching more Btw Life, which I love. If y'all don't know who that is, I definitely encourage you to watch her. I love her channeled messages and things. I've been watching her for years. I don't know when I even first came across her, but yeah. I just been more on her channel, and because like I said, I like to be selective about the readers that I watch, you know, and so I have like a nice little rotation. And if you're interested, I'll just go ahead and tell you now, because you may resonate with these people as well. But Alice Love exists, Btw Life, Shanetta, dang it, Vanessa Samina, and Anita Sarin. Sometimes that's formerly known as Stargirl the Practical Witch. It depends with her. I mean, I won't say it depends with all of them, but I mean, oh, and I do watch Jalissa's messages. Now, I'm very selective with her, because the frequency I'm on and the frequency of her collective is not quite the same. It took me a while to figure that out, of that I have to be very discerning with her readings. And it's not that she's not accurate. It's not that she's not great. It's just she caters more to single people, and her collective be going through it. And so she's definitely performing a wonderful public service for her collective, and giving them guidance and good advice. But it's not hard for you to get your spirit vexed when you just assume, okay, well, I've resonated with this video and this video and this video, and so, well, all of them are for me. No. Especially if you are in a long-term relationship, especially if you're married, the messages for the single folk may not be for you for the most part. So definitely I had to, it took me a while to figure that out. And so luckily though, and I'm sure it's an intuitive thing where she's picking up on the energies of people like me more, and she's starting to do more collective readings, or the zodiac readings, and different types of readings that I can resonate with more. But I'm still very discerning, and so the people that I can turn to, and there's usually more often than not, the message is going to resonate. That's Btw Life. And for a long time it was Alice. And it still is, but still using discernment. I use discernment for everybody, even Btw Life. Every message isn't going to be for you. Even if that tarot reader is for you, every message isn't going to be for you. Every video isn't going to be for you. So yeah, but I'm gonna finish that August prediction because it definitely resonated. But I was kind of like zoning out because I knew I didn't have long before I needed to go live, and so I wasn't all there. I wasn't completely focused on the message because I was being mindful of the time. So I'm just gonna go back and rewatch that and see what thus saith the cards. So again, thank y'all for tuning in. Thank you all so much for commenting, and I will see y'all on the next video. Bye.